Have you ever walked a trail so long that you forgot which direction you started, only to realize the forest hadn't changed at all? Same trees, same bend in the dirt, same broken branch at eye level. What if I told you I followed one of those trails for hours, and no matter which way I turned around, I kept coming back to the same place? I didn't mean to hike that far. The park map said the loop was 3 miles, easy, popular, safe. I parked my car at a gravel lot with 2 other trucks already there, slung my backpack over my shoulder, and followed the wooden sign that read Ridgeview Trail. The arrow pointed into dense woods that swallowed sound. I remember thinking how quiet it was. No birds, no wind, just my boots crunching gravel, until even that stopped. 10 minutes in, I passed a massive oak tree split down the center by lightning. Burn scars curled along its bark like black veins. Someone had stacked 3 smooth stones at its base. I slowed down, snapped a photo, and kept going. The trail dipped downhill and narrowed. Ferns brushed my legs. The air smelled damp and metallic. I checked my phone, no signal. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was how long it felt before I saw anything different. 20 minutes later, I saw the oak again. Same split trunk, same stones, same burn marks. I laughed out loud, convinced there was a second tree just like it. Forests do that sometimes. Patterns repeat. I walked past it again and started counting my steps. The path curved right, then left. I stepped over a fallen log with pale mushrooms growing on it. A crow feather lay in the dirt. I remembered those things because when I saw them again, my stomach tightened. I stopped walking, turned around, and went back the way I came. My logic was simple. I would reach the parking lot eventually. Trails don't just reset themselves. After 15 minutes of brisk walking, I slowed down. The trees looked wrong, too familiar. My heart began thudding in my ears when I saw the lightning-split oak waiting ahead of me. Stones stacked neatly at its base. I hadn't gone in a circle. I had gone straight back. I touched the bark to prove it was real. Warm, rough. The stones were cold. I knocked them over. One rolled into the brush. I scraped my initials into the trunk with a pocket knife. Then I marched forward, forcing myself not to look behind me. I told myself I was tired, disoriented, panicking for no reason. 5 minutes passed, then 10. The path dipped. Ferns brushed my legs. Pale mushrooms clung to a fallen log. A crow feather lay in the dirt. I didn't breathe. I ran. Branches slapped my face. Roots caught my boots. I sprinted until my lungs burned, until the trees blurred into streaks of brown and black. The trail straightened out and ended at the oak. My initials were gone. The stones were stacked again, perfect, like I had never touched them. I backed away slowly. Something cracked behind me, not a branch. Too deliberate. Hello? My voice sounded thin, wrong. The woods swallowed it instantly. I spun in a circle, searching for movement. Nothing. No animals, no insects, no wind through leaves, just that suffocating stillness. I pulled out my phone again, still dead. My GPS compass flickered wildly, the needle twitching like it was having a seizure. I chose a direction at random and walked straight off the trail, forcing my way through thorny brush until my arms burned with scratches. After 10 minutes of crashing through trees, I burst back onto packed dirt, a narrow path. My throat closed when I recognized the curve, the slope, the oak waiting ahead of me. I screamed then, full volume. I hurled a rock into the woods and listened as it bounced. Once, twice, and then landed at my feet from the opposite side. That's when I realized the forest wasn't just looping me, it was watching me try to leave. I noticed something new beside the stones. Footprints, bare, long-toed, pressed deep into the dirt as if whoever made them was heavy, too heavy. They circled the tree, overlapping dozens of times. I followed them with my eyes and froze. Some of the prints matched mine. Same tread pattern from my boots, except they faced every direction at once. Like I had walked in circles around that tree for hours. I hadn't. I would remember that. The light started fading faster than it should have. Sun sinking behind branches, even though my watch said it was barely afternoon. Shadows stretched long and crooked across the path. I heard breathing then. Slow, wet, right behind my ear. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. My reflection stared back at me from a dark knot in the tree bark. But it blinked a second after I did. I bolted again, sobbing now, no shame left in me. I picked a direction and refused to slow down, even when my legs screamed. The trail dipped. Ferns brushed my legs, mushrooms on a log, crow feather. I collapsed to my knees in front of the oak, fingers digging into the dirt. "Let me out," I whispered. Something whispered back, not words. My own voice played wrong, slower, deeper, coming from everywhere at once. That's when I saw the other me, standing across the stones, same jacket, same pack, same terrified eyes. He raised his hand. I didn't. He smiled anyway. The trail behind him stretched into darkness, and I realized something worse than being trapped. The forest didn't want me lost. It wanted me replaced. I ran one last time. I don't know how long I ran. I don't remember falling asleep. I woke up in my car at dawn, doors unlocked, keys still in the ignition. Mud coated my boots, scratches covered my arms. Rangers later told me Ridgeview Trail isn't a loop. It's a straight line. No oak tree, no stone piles. They smiled too much when they said that. I don't hike anymore, but sometimes when I close my eyes, I hear leaves crunching behind me in my apartment hallway, slow breathing over my shoulder. And last night, I found dirt on my shoes, damp, with a single bare footprint pressed into it, facing the wrong direction. So if you ever walk a trail that feels too quiet, if every turn looks familiar, don't try to outrun it. Don't turn around, and whatever you do, don't go off the path. Because some forests don't lead anywhere. They just wait for someone else to take your place.